What is your focus for 2025? Hey everyone, I'm Emerald Mosaic, and I decided to do a little late night video. Not all that late, I mean it's after 10:30, it's about 10:30 I guess, so a little late. I kind of got inspired because my sister posted a video, and I'm actually going to link her her video in the description because she talked about being real and also about one of the tools that she uses is journaling. But anyway, first let me talk a little bit about how to choose a focus for a year. You know, a lot of people, I mean, just about everybody uses New Year's resolutions, which is not a focus. It's a goal. In fact, it's not even really a good, quote unquote, good. I should say it's not the most effective way to make a goal in the first place, because most people are like, I'm just going to exercise more, or I'm going to exercise, or I'm going to lose weight, or, you know, I mean, it's very vague. It's not measurable. There's no action steps really. It's not an effective way to even make a goal in the first place. But the other problem is when you slip, because everybody's going to at some point, getting back into it is so hard. And this is why I stopped doing New Year's resolutions years ago, probably, I guess, a decade ago or more. I think 2015, 2016, actually. So yeah, right on a decade I've been doing Word of the Year. One of the things I like so much about doing a Word of the Year is that this is your focal point. This is the one thing one word that you are going to keep in the back of your mind all year long. And the great thing is, if your focus, shifts to something else for a little bit, well, you can always just bring it right back. There's no shame in that. I mean, we end up focusing on something else for a little bit because things take priority. And then when that goes away, you know what? It's right there to focus on again. So I think one of my first words, if I remember right, one of my first words was serenity. And I've had many words over the years, and I don't remember all of them. I remember one year, my word was balance, and trying to find balance in everything. And then the next year, my word was steady. Just trying to hold steady. It's like, okay, I found my balance. Let me just try to keep that, before I take steps forward. Last year, my word was choose / choices. It ended up being two forms of the same word. Being very conscious about the fact that I am making choices, and also the fact that you got to be careful what you choose. So I just love the whole idea, though, of just taking a single word. And so I'd like to talk a little bit about how I come up with my words. Now, each person has their own way, I'm not sure exactly what method my mom uses, but she has a Word of the Year that she focuses on, that she's been doing for quite a while. So, choose your own method, the method isn't what's important. The important thing is to actually choose a focal point. So I ended up getting into tarot. I guess I finally actually got my own deck about 5 years ago. I'd kind of been drawn toward it most of my life, but back when I was a Christian, that's taboo, right? And then when I was because I have PTSD now, Christianity was not an option. And so I was like, well, let me look at something else. Now, I don't see tarot as much as trying to see the future. I really do not. That's not how I use it when I do. I'm honestly not very consistent with it. I have ADHD and a lot of challenges that I have to deal with on a daily basis, and routine was that. um, anyway, I'll come back to that later if I need to. But anyway, so one of the things that I do with my tarot deck now, definitely once a year, I use it to find my word of the year. Now, if you know anything about the tarot, each card has associated keywords that kind of summarize the meaning. Usually for each card there's 4 or 5 keywords, and when you're doing a reading, usually you have to consider like how the first card influences the second card, or multiple cards, then it's the relationship between them. If the question is phrased as far as past, present, and future, well, then each card is going to actually represent something depending on the time period. Just there's so much that goes into it that's I kind of got intimidated by it, to be honest. And it was like, I just wanted something simple. This is getting a little over my head. I didn't have the energy for that, much as I wanted to. So anyway, given the fact that each card has 4 or 5 keywords, when I'm ready to choose my word of the year for the following year, and yes, I know this video is late. I know it's the end of February. Shh. My brain. So I take out my deck, I shuffle it. I particularly, personally, I have a very particular way of shuffling. I shuffle it, I cut it, I shuffle it, I cut it, I shuffle it, I cut it. Then I choose the top card. I like to make sure things are thoroughly shuffled, increase the randomness, So then I take the top card. Now, the keywords that are associated with that card, I write them down. And then I say, okay, I want clarification so I know which word is the key word here. And so then I will shuffle, cut, shuffle, cut, shuffle, cut, draw the next top card. Another way to do it, and I also do this sometimes, and I'm holding my phone with my hand. Let me see if I can set this down somewhere so I can actually use 2 hands to show you. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm holding, I have the deck in my hand here and my other hand here, and I kind of throw the cards into the other hand and I wait to see what cards fly out. And so whatever cards fly out, that's the cards that then I am looking for. So usually at least 1 or sometimes 2 cards will fly out. And so then the next thing I look at is the keywords for those cards, and I write them down. Now, this is where I use some elimination. So say, for example, there's the first card that is my primary card. So let's say the first secondary card has in common with the primary card 2 keywords. Okay, so I'll circle those, and then from the second secondary card, that one might share with the first card 1 or 2 keywords, and I'll circle those. Now, if that's enough to really key in on, okay, which of these 5 words I need, okay, I stop there. That's my word of the year. If it's still not enough, if it's, okay, well, there's, 2 or 3 possibilities here. I need more clarification. I'll just do the whole process again. Shuffle and see what cards fly out, and then do the same process of what are the keywords, how do they make, because a lot of times what I find is that say a card comes out in the reversed position. A lot of times, not always, but a lot of times in the reverse position, things are taken to an extreme, like a bad extreme. So outgoing might be overbearing, just confident is like overbearing. It's just that's to an extreme. So that to me could be, okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Or it actually could be, it is, just be careful. So it could be just a warning, just don't take this too far. So also sometimes I find that really hones in on a particular detail of a certain word. Like, so my word this year was courage. And so it might be talking about a more specific type of situation that would need courage, like chasing your dreams. That requires courage, right? So it's like, okay, that's actually confirmation. If it's talking about something more specific, but it still relates back to that original card, the primary card, then that's a confirmation that I'm on the right track. So that's how I ended up choosing the word courage for this year. Last year, the primary card was the 7 of Cups. Now, cups, the suit of cups, is all about your inner world, your emotions. The element that's associated with it is water. So emotions flow through you like water, right? The 7 of Cups in particular is about, you have all of these beautiful chalices that a person is looking up at. So it's got above his head all of these 7 chalices that he is looking at, like, which one? And they're filled with amazing, beautiful things. Some of them are riches, some of them are rainbows, some of them are hearts, all of these lovely choices in front of them. Oh, which one should I choose? Oh, it's so hard to choose. Well, so there's a few key aspects of this card. First of all, you have to make a choice. And in fact, refusing to make a choice is still a choice. No matter what you do, you have to make a choice there, so you have to choose. Number 2, a lot of the things that we are presented with to choose are illusions. They aren't really real. There's no substance to them. A lot of people chase after things thinking this is going to be everything I ever wanted. And then they get it. And it feels hollow and empty because it had no substance to it. And remember, the cups are emotions. So, there's a lot of things that our emotions would lead us astray, So that's why wisdom is really important when you're looking at all of the choices, when you're thinking about your inner world, and also when you are looking at, all of your options for life. You really need to take some discernment. Don't just go after the thing that just feels good. Now, that's not the same as intuition, okay? Intuition feels right. It'll ring, resonate, you'll feel like a very quiet, calm, and short that. Yes, go for it. It's always very short. It's very tiny, and you feel it. We say we feel it in our gut, but you'll feel it inside. You'll have this really quick snap, and then it's gone. Okay, as opposed to impulsiveness, which is, ooh, shiny. Oh, can I have some of that? Oh my God. Yes. That's not at all the same thing. Impulsiveness is very loud. Intuition is very quiet, right? Now, back to these choices. So, all right. So yes, some of them are very elusive. They are illusions and they're not real. So that's why it's important to pay attention to your intuition from your gut instead of just, well, your eyes, all this impulsiveness, right? So then the other thing is taking responsibility. Ugh, who wants to do that? That sucks. Taking responsibility for my choices? Are you kidding me? Ugh, that's scary stuff. Who wants to do that? Yeah, I had to do that all last year. That was my word of the year for an entire year. I had to actually take responsibility for my choices. And, and here's the other factor of that. There is not enough time to do all of the things I want to do. There's not enough time to do all of the things that I'm supposed to do. I don't have all of the time to, take care of my health, take care of business, have some fun, meditate, paint. I mean, there's just not enough time. By the way, it's partly why I haven't been painting. I have not had time or energy lately. It's frustrating because I have a few things in mind that I want to do. And instead, I'm just trying to make it through the winter. I really hope come spring I get some energy and time so I have, so I can make another painting. I'd love to. So yeah, that having choose and choices as a word of the year, that was kind of rough. I tell you, most of the time, the word that is right for you is going to be a challenge. And my word of the year this year is courage. What am I going to need courage for? Yeah, I already found out. One thing. I had to say goodbye to someone that I actually truly cared about and could not bring them with me to the next chapter of my life. That hurt. That was so hard. I did not want to do it because I knew this person was going to be hurting so bad. And yet, for my own peace, I had to. And I did not want to. That took so much courage to send that message and then hit the block button so that there wouldn't be a fight. I have to say, anytime a person says goodbye to another person, that takes courage. It really does. Because especially if you're a kind of person who has compassion on others, if you're the kind of person who has any kind of empathy for others, you know deep in your heart how that person is going to feel. And you don't want to cause those kinds of feelings. Thankfully, one thing I am learning is that I am not responsible for the emotions of other people. Now, I am responsible for being kind. I'm not responsible for managing their emotions for them. That's their job. And my first responsibility is to myself. And if myself is in danger, or if myself is being hurt by the actions or choices of another person, I gotta protect myself. I'm the only one who's going to. It's not anybody else's job to protect me but mine. That was hard, really hard. There have been a lot of people over the years that I have said goodbye to. Some were permanent. Others I've been able to resume after I healed. That's the important key, though. I had to heal, and I had to find out if I could trust them before I allowed them fully in. Now, family's the hardest. And I actually went through a period for about 5 years where I was almost 5 or 6 years, where I was not in contact with the majority of my family because I was going through a lot, and some of my choices they disagreed with because of their beliefs. And they believed that what I was doing was wrong. So, because I believed that it was right for me, and all I wanted from them was them to just show me love, still be my family. I did not ask for their approval. I didn't need their approval. All I asked for was for the connection to still be there, and for them to just keep their judgments to themselves. That did not happen. And so, to protect myself, I said goodbye. And I just blocked a bunch of people. I left the family chat group. And I'm the youngest of 7. And so it's a really big family, you know. But after my dad passed away not last year, year before last, but it was in September, so it doesn't feel like that long ago. But most of us felt like we were finally free. Yeah, there was some grief, but it was more grief over the fact that now he never could be the dad that we needed him to be. Like, now that was gone. That opportunity was just completely gone. And so there was some grief over that, but mostly we just felt relieved. And I decided to rejoin the family group and just see. And there was one of my siblings that we couldn't. We both fell right back into old patterns as soon as we started interacting. I think I did better than I would have probably 10 years before. I still did not do as well as I do with other people. And because old habits die hard, right? We're used to people being a certain way, and we kind of assume that they still are that way, even though they may have changed. And then we end up falling into our old habits too. It's just human nature. So she and I kind of took a truce, and she's taking a break from the family group. That's okay. I still love her, you know, and we have occasionally short conversations on Messenger, just very brief. We keep it short because we know that right now we're not ready for more. That's okay. I can still love her. And she still occasionally does something really nice for me, and it feels good. And every once in a while I can do something really nice for her and it feels good. And we just don't get in the weeds, as my counselor likes to put it, because I have a tendency to get in the weeds. So just because you say goodbye for a while, I mean, it doesn't have to be forever with everybody. Sometimes you need a break, but it has to be a true break. Like, you have to break up and heal. Take time to heal before there can be a chance of actually making up. You know, you have to actually grow before you have a chance of coming back and having a healthy relationship. So it all takes courage. So I know that's one thing that I've already used my word of the year for. I don't know what else is going to come in 2025. You know, who knows what else I will need courage for. I know there's going to be something. That's life, you know. And I like a challenge. As I've said before, you throw a gauntlet down in front of me, I just might pick it up. Although I'm learning to not pick up every gauntlet that is thrown down in front of me. Tough lessons, right? It's good stuff, though. It's good. So there's some things for you to chew on. And if you do a word of the year, what's your word this year? I'd like to hear. I hope you have a wonderful day. Talk to you later.